Hello friends, Harshal here and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'll explaining you that how can we deploy the API, and how can we do the different deployment, that is canary deployment. Canary deployment, or we can call it blue green deployment. So we will do the same and I'll tell you that how can you do this. So okay. So here is our API that we have created, and when I do test, then what happened, the request will be sent out to lambda function, and lambda function, it will invoke lambda function, and lambda function run the application, run the code, and the reply will be sent out to the client, right? Okay, now if I want to deploy, okay, so how can I deploy? So for deploying API, simply go to action, and you can see here deploy API. So if I click on it, here you can see new stage. Okay, so click on it. We are actually creating a stage, so you can give test, dev, prod, anything, right? So I'm giving the name, that is test, and you can give the stage description, deployment description if you want. Okay, so I have deployed. The API is deployed on test environment, right? Okay, and this is the URL. Okay, so if I go here and open here, then you can see this is prod server. Okay, right. So let me tell you first of all our code. So to check the code, I go to lambda function, and here in lambda function you can see this is prod server, right? But I wanted to change the code. I want to change the version. So I already has created two versions. The first version is the test server, for test server, and the second version is for production server. Okay, and right now I want to deploy this code. So just I click on it, version 1. Okay, and this is the version 1. And yeah, okay, so this is version 1, and if I wanted to check the code, then here you can see the code. Here is the code. Okay, this is test server. So I wanted to get this response. In response, I would like to get this statement, that is, this is test server, but now I am getting this is prod server, right? This is wrong. So so what happened, the lambda function is running different version, that is version I guess, where is, okay, here, that is version 2. Okay, but I wanted to run version 1, and I would like to get this statement, that is, this is test server. Now how can I do it? So let me go to here. Okay, let me go to resource, and here in get, here you can see that integration request, or okay, that method request. Okay, and this is, let me click here. Okay, not this one. Okay, go to integration request. So sometimes get confused. Okay, go to integration request, and here you can see the lambda function. Okay, so now the lambda function is lambda API, and if I go to lambda function, this is lambda API 1. Okay, and if I go to lambda API, then I'm getting here is the code, that is this is prod server, and here that is Lambda API. That's why it is showing this is prod server. Now I wanted to change to 1, so let's go and check it out. Let me go to version, and here is the test, that is version 1. So here is the version 1, Lambda API and 1. So if I go here and I just write it here and save it. So yes, I wanted to save. So now it is Lambda API 1. So once you do the change in the configuration, it means that it is not applicable. So let me show you. Now if I go to stages, okay, let me click on it and see, it is not showing that this is test server. It is still showing that this is prod server. We have changed the configuration, right? We have changed the version, but still it is not showing that. Why? Because we have not deploy API. That is why it is not showing the change. The change is not enabled. So now for that, what we have to do, we have to, once you have changed the configuration, once you have done the change, after that you have to deploy the API. Okay, I wanted to deploy API on test environment. Okay, the same. Now the change has been done. Okay, and now you can see this is test. The new URL has been created, and if I go here and okay, this is also, but okay, let me show you something. So now you can see that this is test server, right? Because we have done the change, but that change is not enabled because we have not deployed API. So whenever you do some changes, any kind of change, after that you need to deploy, okay, and then the change will be enabled. So now we can see the change, that is this is test server. Okay, now if I want to create one more, let me go to sources, resources, and I would like to deploy one more. I wanted to create new stage. Okay, name prod, and I deployed. Okay, so now there are two stages, right? This is the test, and this is prod. Okay, so if I click on prod, so you can see prod, and if I click on test, so this is test. Okay, now what we have to do, now I have to okay, I have to do some changes in the prod. Let me go to here canary. Okay, now I wanted to create canary in the prod. So now I'm creating canary, and here you can see this is 100% and this is 0%, right? So for prod, okay, so first of all let me delete this, and okay, the very first thing that I have created the stage prod, and I wanted to do some changes in the code, and that should be applied on the environment prod, right? Okay, for test you will if I click on it, you will get this statement, that is this is test server. And now for prod, okay, if I click on prod, it is also showing the same test server. Okay, but I wanted to see here this is prod server. Okay, so for that reason I need to go here in the get and do some changes here. Now this one is 2, right? If I don't give anything, so it will show this lambda API. It is also having the statement this is prod server, okay, and this one the version 2 also having the statement this is prod server. So but I'll go with the 2. Okay, here if this is 1, and now if I change to version 2, so where is version, let me go back, and here in the version I click on version 2, and now you can see the code is this is prod server. So here is this is prod server. That is what I want. That is what I wanted to deploy on prod environment. So okay, let me do that. So everything is perfect. Lambda API version 2, so this is also version 2, and yeah, okay, so now changes has done, and now what we have to do, we need to deploy API. So this is, I wanted to deploy on prod environment, so that's why I selected prod and deploy. Okay, so now there are two URL. This is for test URL and this is for prod URL. If I go and check prod URL, then you can see this is prod server, and if I go to a test URL and let me check, it is, this is test server, right? So in this way you can do the you can deploy API gateway. Okay, right. Now one more thing I would like to tell you, that okay, now there are two versions, that is version 1, okay, and version 2. Version 1 is test for test environment, version 2 is for prod environment. Okay, this is what I have created according to version, okay, and in the description I have written here. So now what I do, I need to create aliases. Okay, to create alias, so simply create on it, give the name. So let me give the name test, and here in the description you can give, or I don't want to give any description for now. So okay, now the version, okay, test version, this is the test server. Okay, so yeah, version 1 is for the test environment. And if I go here in the weighted alias, here you can divide the traffic, we can shift the traffic within two versions. So let me go and check. So this is prod, and here weightage is 100% for test, right? So what I do, let me go here and let me change the weightage. Okay, 50% for version 1, that is test, and 50% for prod. Okay, version 2, that is prod. Okay, so whenever I click on the URL and check the URL, then what happen? The 50% of the time it is showing this is test server, and the next 50% of the time it is showing this is prod server. Okay, so that's why it is 50-50. If I do 10 and 90, then it will again 90% of the time it will show this, 10% of time it will show this. Okay, so according to weightage it happens. So let me save it. So I have done the deployment, blue-green deployment. Yeah, okay. So now I go here, okay, and what I do, I have to deploy this change, right? So this is test. So the alias is test, right? So here is alias is test. Here you can see alias is test. So I'm going now to API gateway, and here if I go here and in the get, simply you have to do the same. Simply go to integration request, and this time instead of version 1 or 2, okay, you can give alias. So here I'm writing alias name, that is test, okay, and our alias name is also test. Now you can see that, right? So this is what I need to save it. So save has done, and now go back, and now we have to deploy again because we have done some changes. Now deploy, and I wanted to deploy on test, and now the test URL you can check. If I go and check, so this is test. Let me again click on it, now it is prod, okay. So if I click on in multiple times, so again it is showing test, then again after some time it will show test, prod, then test, then prod. So it happens, right? So the number of requests 50% of the time it is showing this is prod server, and this is test server, okay. So this is called canary deployment we have done, okay. So we have done canary deployment in lambda function, okay, and now I have to do the same in API gateway. Now how can I do it? So okay, first of all let me go here and delete the alias. Where is alias? Okay, here is the aliases, and here you can see 50% of it is version 1 and version 2. So okay, let me delete it, and now I would like to show you this one, that is canary deployment on API gateway. So yeah, so now you know that this is showing. Again I have to do some changes here as well. So go to here and let me, for test this is 1, and first of all I need to apply this change on test. So yes, now it's perfect, okay. So production URL will show this is production server, and the test URL will show this is test server. Okay, now I go to prod, and here you can see that canary deployment, okay. So we have to create the canary just like that here in the lambda, okay. In the lambda we have created alias and done some weightage 50%. Same you can do, you can create the canary and do the same, okay. So I would like to create the canary, and here this is 100% will be directed to the prod, that is this stage, prod stage, and the percentage of request directed to canary is 0%. So let me give this is 30%. I would like to shift the traffic 30% here and 70% here, okay. Now okay, done. So this change has done, okay, and I have done this change in prod, right? I would like to do this change to prod. Okay, now go to resource. Again I need to go there, and here in the integration request if I click on it, okay, and here you can do mock. So we have switched to mock integration. Perfect. Okay, now go back. Now the same thing we have to do. We have to deploy API, and now here you can see production canary enabled, okay. Now just click on it and deploy. So here now you can see, okay, this is the production URL. So let me check. Here it is showing nothing, right? now it is showing this is prod server. Okay, again, okay, this is prod server. See, there is nothing. Okay, why there is nothing? Because the canary has nothing. This is blank data. Okay, and the actual prod has some data. Okay, it is written that this is prod server. So 70% of the time it is showing this is prod server, and 30% of time it is showing no data. So yeah, right. So we can do canary deployment in Lambda function as well as API gateway. In the API gateway we can do this, right? So both I mean on both the sides we can do it as well. So I hope that you understand that what is canary deployment and how can we use it exactly. Okay, now if you go here in the canary, and if you do that promote canary, then what happens? Canary will set to 0%. So let me update it, and now the canary will be in 0%, and now this is 100%. Okay, now, or you can also delete canary from here. And then again you have to go there. Whenever you do some changes, you need to deploy API. So on prod, and now deploy. Okay, now let me go here, and I would like to tell you some important. Let me go here in Lambda function, and this is region. That is Ohio US is 2. Where is US is 2? Okay, and the Lambda, and by default that is okay. So now everything is perfect. Okay, now you can see. Again we need to deploy API to prod, and now deployment done. Okay, now go to resource again and check to, okay, now integration request. In integration request here, if you go down here, you can see that mapping template. Now what is the mapping template, and what is the use of mapping template? So mapping template, it is one of the important topic in AWS gateway, API gateway. So here what happen, whenever the request comes in and it invoke the Lambda function, right? So before invoking the Lambda function, we can set the template here. So according to template, it will send the data which is required to trigger, which is required to invoke Lambda. Okay, let us say there is so much data is sending. Okay, for posting, let us say somebody wants to post something. Okay, and so much data is going through internet, and they directly go to the Lambda function, and Lambda function getting some error. Why? Because there is some syntax or something like that. I mean that information is not useful to, it is not useful to trigger the Lambda function, right? So in that case what happen, you can filter the request according to your need, right? So here, when there are no template defined recommended, so you can go here, you can add the template. Okay, so it should be in application and JSON format. Okay, now I click on it, so it is saved. And now this is application, and now this is method request pass through. So this is the template. Okay, now this is empty, right? And this is error, if getting error, so this time, so you can also create one, right, according to the template. So according to that template, let us say some request is sent, like name of the user, age of the user, and again email of the user. Okay, but but email of the user is not useful, it doesn't need. Okay, you just want to check the age of the user and the name of the user, you don't want email of the user. In that case, that that data is this data is not required. So that is why we can make such template, so that what needs to pass, what data should not pass, what kind of request should pass, so everything we can plan here, we can design here. So that is why that mapping template is important, right? So I will not go into deep into this topic, but yeah, this topic is important and we should know that what is the mapping template. So I hope that you understand what is the mapping template, and yeah, here you can create the template. That's it. Okay, so now okay, now I would like to add some resources. So here you can see that create resource. Okay, so for now I would like to create resource for step function invoke, for step function. Okay, so let me give the name step function whatever, right? So you can give any name. Okay, so I wanted to create a resource. Okay, and this is the resource path. So okay, create resource, and resource is created. Here you can see there is nothing. Okay, why there is nothing? Because we have not added any method. So let me add the method, that is the post method I would like to add. Okay, the data that we want to post on the server or the lambda function, so that data will trigger lambda function, and it will respond with the output. Okay, right, so let me do that lambda API only. No, this is not lambda API. I would like to go with the AWS service. Okay, so I will go with the AWS service. You can go through lambda function as well. Okay, you will it will trigger the lambda function, and lambda function will trigger the step function. That is also possible. We can also create this one, but I will skip this, and I would like to directly invoke AWS service. So AWS region is US is 2. So yes, US is 2. AWS service will be a step function. So let me write. Okay, here is the step function. There is no subdomain for now, and here the post method I want to use. And now action type, so use action name. So okay, now action name we have to write here that what action should be taken, and then the execution role we have to create. Okay, so we will check both of them. So okay, I'll go here. In the doc, let me go here and I would like to check step function. So now step function, so here in the step function, okay, in the documentation itself we will come to know. So okay, this is step function, and let me go to deploying, and here customizing starter pipeline, modify generating starter pipeline, monitoring, publishing. Somewhere is publish code pipeline, no. Invoke function, generating debugging lambda function locally. Here no. Okay, let me check once again. AWS gateway, API gateway. Let me check here. Okay guys, so here you can see the document in the AWS step function. In tutorial, if you go down, and here you can see creating a step function API using API gateway. So here it is given the description and the information about creating a step function API using API gateway. So okay, now so whenever you use the post method to communicate with the start execution API action, so the API action should taken, that is start execution. So start execution, let me copy it and go to here in API, and this is the, where is, okay, here is the start action, that is start execution. And now we have to create execution role. So let me go here, IAM role. Okay, in IAM role we have to create a role for AWS API gateway. So let me create an execution role for API gateway. So here, okay, so here we come in IAM role. Okay, and here we have to create IAM role. So let me go to role, and here to create role, and I want to create role for API gateway. So click on it, next, and this is API gateway role. You can give any name. Okay, I had already created API gateway role, so okay, but I'll tell you everything from scratch. So now I have created the role, and here is API gateway role, and if I click on it, okay, okay, so there is API gateway push to CloudWatch logs. So it means that the API gateway push their logs to the CloudWatch logs. So this is the policy. Here the policy is written in a way that this is regarding the logs. To create log group, it will create log group, it will create log stream. So everything, put log events, get log events, so everything will be created in the log, CloudWatch log, right? Okay, and now we want to get access of step function, to get access from API gateway to step function as well. So that's why we need to add policy. So I'm going here, and okay, here is the option to add permission. So I wanted to attach policy. So if I click on it, and here I simply write step function, because we want to get permission to do some action in step function. Okay, so let me search for it. Okay, there is no step function. It's other permission, current permission policy, step. Okay, now here you can see AWS step function full access. So click on it, select it, and attach the policy. So the policy has been attached to this role, this execution role, right? API gateway execution role. So we are good here, and now our IAM role has been created. And okay, now what we have to do, simply go here, and if I click on the role, where is, okay, here is the ARN. Okay, that's what I want. So simply copy the ARN number and go to that API gateway, and here you have to paste. So the ARN number we have pasted here, and everything is perfect. Okay, so now save it. So it is saved, and our function is created, right? Our API gateway is created. So this is the step function. Okay, the request will be will go to method, will go to a method request, and then it will go to integration request, and this will trigger, this will invoke step function. Step function will send back the result to through integration response to method response, and we will get the desired output here on the client side. So this is what exactly happened. And now okay, so let me go and do some test. So what do you think? The test, we cannot do test. Why? Because there is no request body. Okay, we have to create the step function, right? So when the request trigger or invoke the step function, so that step function should trigger and it will run something. For that reason we have to create step function here. So if I go here and let me check step function, here is the step function. I open in new tab. So yes, and let me get started, and here okay, go to next, hello world. Okay, I create the new role and tracing. Okay, everything is good. Now create state machine. So a machine has been created, and this is the execution. Okay, so if I start the execution, this is the input, this is the input data. Okay, it will start executing, and okay, let me start execution, and it started execution. It is running now, and the output we will get here, execution output we will get here, and the input output is this one. Okay, so we have already created the state machine, and now in detail it is successful. Okay, so the same we will this input we will copy this input, and let me go to API gateway. Okay, so this is the input, but we do need to request body. So where do I get the request body? If I go here and if I go down, so we have already created the IAM role, and then if you go down, so here is the here you can see post method execution page, and this is the request body section. Okay, so simply just click on it, and now we go here in the request body and paste here, and this is the request body. It has nothing in input. Okay, this is my execution, and this is this state machine ARN. So we have to write state machine ARN here. So go to step function, and what is the ARN of the step function? So this is state machine, and this is the ARN of the state machine. Okay, so copy this one. I copy it, go to APN gateway, and I remove. Okay, and paste here. Okay, so I have pasted. That is perfect. And now we haven't given any input for now. Okay, in curly brackets there is no data. So I would like to test this one. So let me check what will I get. So here I'm getting this start data. Okay, execution ARN. So this is execution ARN. Okay, so I'm getting this one. So let me go to step function, and let me see if it actually triggered or not. So yes. Okay, so now you can see that is my execution which is failed. Okay, so why it is failed? Because it is not the correct input. That's why it gets failed. Okay, the actual input is in this format, where, okay, this format, this is the actual input. Okay, so let me copy it, and okay, let me copy this one, go to API. Okay, let me go here, and let me write paste here. Okay, so now give that option slash forward slash. So this is also a forward slash in this way. Yes, and now let me test again, and let's check it out if now it will be successful or not. So now it is saying that execution already exists. Okay, why? Because if I go to yeah, step function, state machine, and here if I go here, and now you can see that already my execution has been executed. So that's why the same name it will not take. So the different name we have to choose for the execution. So if I go to here in API gateway, and let me change the name of execution, that is execution 6.0. Okay, whatever you just have to give different name, that's it. And now let me test it, and now it is showing that execution ARN number and start date. And again let me check to step function, and here if I refresh, then you can see that my execution 60 is successful, and it is started at this date and it will end at this time. Okay, so I hope that you understand whatever I'm telling you about the integration of step function and the AWS API gateway. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Goodbye.